We'll mark with a pen by taking one wrap to measure the circumference and then back off the wrap and measure. This way we can get an exact measurement of the circumference of what we'll need for the width of our dubbing brush. We'll make each dubbing brush segment the same width as this measurement, adding 1/8 of an inch to the width for shrinkage during the winding process. You can graduate the length of the hair in 1/2 inch increments from 1 inch to 2.5 inches or even more. This depends on the length of the fly. Any length of hair is possible as long as the width of the segments remains constant. By making your segments with half lighter hair and half darker hair, your fly will have a light bottom and a dark top, imitating nature. We're using a size small HMH tube fly tube and 140 denier Danville thread. Make a small lump of thread at the rear of the tube to flare the hair a bit and keep the brush. So we'll drop out the table. I don't have quite enough room, so I'll just pull the whole works out, let it slide over, and then we can start spinning up our brush. And you'll notice I don't use a lot of speed on the spin. This gives me much more control over the hair, and it really helps to get everything going right and to keep everything from tangling up too much. So there's our brush all spun up. Every one of our segments is just about the same width. We got a little bit of crush on them, but everything looks like it's all about the same width. Our graduated lengths, light in the front, dark in the back, all the way through. That'll give us good color separation. We should be ready to start building our segments and constructing our fly. This modular system, if you want to think of it as that, greatly facilitates being able to get your hair length exactly right and to easily put it onto the fly to build the profile that you're looking for. Now we've got our brush constructed. Each piece is about 5/8 of an inch wide, with the exception of the hair on the end. We'll use that to build the head. We can start. I'll take 2 Matuka style feathers from the edge of a neck and I'll lay them right on top. We're going to treat this just like we treated our tubes. Now we can take our segments and we can stack them in ascending order onto our body. And you can make this fly as long or as short as you want, depending on how many segments you want to stack on. And just this quickly, we have our taper, our fill-in flash, and everything added on. Now we're ready to finish out the rest of the fly. We've got a real flexible body. We've got our taper correct. Everything's ready to go. It's really quick and simple from this point on. So here I'm using a size 2 Daiichi 2451. I like the extra beef in it a little bit better than the Gamakatsu, but as a trailer hook, the Gamakatsu is okay. So I'll place this on with the mono right on top of the hook shank, and I want to give this just a little bit of extra space here so that I get real good movement out of the mono. I could use a piece of wire, but I found that on this smaller size fly, the wire is just not quite flexible enough for my liking. So I'll pass the mono through the hook eye and then just tack everything down. Make sure I keep the mono on the top and on the bottom of the hook shank. That'll give me a real good platform to finish out the fly with. And being hard mono, it's going to take a lot for a fish to take that apart. So now I can pick up right where I left off with my material, and I can take my next segment of hair and I can tie it right in there. There we have it, a nearly indestructible fly constructed of components that are easy to assemble once you get your precision dubbing brush made. Soft, flexible tail, moves, 2 hooks, we've got our taper, we've got our segmentation, everything we could possibly want. As a trout/bass fly at about 4.5 to 5 inches long, this is just about ideal for most fishing situations. Again, it's an easy fly to tie once you get the parts made. And since you can set them up and do exactly the taper and the profile that you're looking for, tied in the round, makes a really, really great alternative to having to use some other materials that might be more difficult to source out. This is really a pretty simple construction project. And because all the parts are modular, it's easy to assemble it. Have fun with it, guys. I think you'll enjoy it.